Welcome to GHV Mentors, the podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs avoid critical mistakes and build thriving businesses. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, we're here to guide you with insights, strategies, and real-world advice. I'm Brian Powell, a proud father, youth advocate speaker, and entrepreneur mentor specializing in sales team restructuring.
And my name is Kellen Calloway. I've grown and scaled multiple businesses in many different industries.
So today we're going to be talking about VAs complementing to or replacing traditional sales teams. First, let's go ahead and redefine what a VA is.
Super basic virtual assistant is somebody who works remotely in the States or in a different country, but for your team.
Well
Super
said.
basic.
Yeah, exactly. Not much of that. So as far as one thing that we have noticed, there is a growing trend with businesses using VAs for sales tasks. What are some of the ways that you've seen a business fail at just starting that?
Usually when they think that this person's going to come in and save their business.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell people all the time.
Because of the saving costs, and they can just do everything.
Because it sounds so good.
Yeah.
You save money. They can do what you're doing now. They can help your team. Whatever. So everything sounds so amazing. But it's like, I tell people, and a lot of books are getting written about this.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come in and save your business. Yep. Nobody. Right. This will help by all means, and it will scale your company very well, but it's not going to save it overnight. Yes. So don't assume that these virtual, like let's say, for example, you want a salesperson, right? Mm-hmm. Not even a salesperson, maybe the sales team, the whole division.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a small business, I need somebody to take over all the sales. Now we're talking like business process outsourcing, and that's not what they're made for. This is virtual assistance, meaning at first, and I say the best success is if you have a current sales team, don't fire your sales team. Don't do that. Don't fire anybody. Bring on a virtual assistant, have them be an assistant to that current sales team, as long as they're not cancerous, right?
Yeah.
Have them be an assistant to that sales team, learn, assist them setting appointments, doing the outbound calls, the inbound calls, whatever, and then have them eventually become a salesperson. But just like hiring an American, you can't assume anybody to show up and to just, do a 15 sales or whatever your number of sales are in the first week or two. It's not going to happen. Be patient. I would say 60, 90 days is the minimum that you need for true training, true onboarding, and to see an exact result of your efforts, right? And just like an American, you're not going to expect them to produce in 30 days. They just can't.
Yeah.
They'll have some results, but not like stellar, through the roof, kind of results. So.
Well, and I personally know large companies that have taken an approach of, hey, we can replace our whole sales team.
Yeah.
They've even gone down, set up offices in the Philippines, and just turned everything over, a whole division, and immediately regretted it and ended up just bailing on the idea. And a lot of that comes down to because they just think, oh, they can just do the start to finish from day one, and let's just ride with it. And more times than not, they understand like that's just not possible.
Yeah. I mean, almost a similar story to what we did. So when I first hired, my first virtual assistant hire was a estimator. Mm-hmm. I had 4 American estimators, and I wanted to bring on a more virtual assistants. And when I flew to the Philippines, rented an office space. I remember driving on the back of the moped with wads of pesos in my pockets to go put a deposit down with the landlord. I remember thinking, if I got pulled over right now or somebody ran me over, they might just kill me and take the money. It was enough for like 3-6 months of their wages, right?
Yeah.
I remember thinking, okay, so I did that, hired the people, got them set up, but I didn't fire my estimating team because one, I couldn't stop the estimates coming over, and I didn't know how this worked. I was super slow, and that's why I suggest to every people, take it slow. Don't expect crazy results. But I will say within a month, I got them trained up to the speed of the Americans so they could do the work. But that didn't mean I was getting rid of the Americans right away.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wrong. I did fire one of them, but he needed to go.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, within about a month or two, I was able to replace. It took me 90 days, almost to be exact, to replace my full American team for the estimators. But I didn't replace the managers, right? They were still managing, and there was heavy hand-holding throughout that entire process because it was very, very detailed. So yes, you can do it. It does take time and a lot of your time specifically. So, but it can be done.
Exactly. And that's why we kind of want to highlight the strengths of a traditional sales team. One is, I mean, they have more times than not going to have the high level negotiating skills that you really want from that.
Yep.
They're going to have the product knowledge for another. What are some of the things as far as the strengths of a traditional sales team?
If you're like me with my companies, they're local companies, so they're going to need face-to-face.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to replace it.
Yeah.
Just know that. I cannot replace that of it, and that's okay. So having the face-to-face, the networking, the relationships that you have with having somebody who's in office, right? It's going to be different, right? I mean, you're ever taking clients out to dinner?
Oh,
virtual assistant can't do that.
Yeah.
So knowing that and knowing that you're not going to replace some of those guys, and you don't want to anyways, because that's your true foundation. And that's where I kind of on the sales team think more of an assistant type position and not an entire sales team. And most of the time too, it's the high level purchase price.
Yeah.
$50, $100 purchases. Yeah, you could replace your sales team. But if we're talking like, thousands of dollars in purchases, it'd be very, very, very difficult to replace that, at least the human aspect of it, right, with the face-to-face. So
that makes sense. And really it's leaning very heavily into the assistant side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, more times than not for a sales rep, about anywhere from 50 to 80% of the time is dealing with two different tasks. And that's either generating leads or cold calling, just trying to get somebody on the phone, right? And so being able to lean on the assistant side and having them do those low value tasks, a VA, to free up their time to do the really important things as far as the sales pitch and then the follow-up. Those would be the two better ones.
That's what I was going to say. I would say, the lead gen and the follow-up is the two time consuming, because the most money's made when the American salesperson is in the presentation, who's connecting with them, going to their place, right? So if we can have somebody, and that's what we do, right? We have people who do the follow-up for that salesperson, but the salesperson's aware of it. He knows what's going on. He's a part of that team,
part
of
that
decision.
Of structuring
so
it out.
Is it an assistant? Yes, but I'm not a big fan of that word assistant. I consider it a salesperson, right? Or maybe like a junior salesman is how I would term it. But all in all, it ends they are assisting the sales process. So for sure.
And how can they bring on a VA to assist your sales team? What are some of the cost benefits of that?
Obviously, the first one is going to be the cost, right? The cost of the labor, the cost of the hourly wage. Yeah. When you bring on an American, I know this. If I bring on a new American salesperson, I'm going to need an office space. I need a desk. I need a computer. I need a chair. I need to have everything set up, right? So there's a huge upfront cost. And then I still have the cost of the hiring and the interviewing and then the onboarding. So there's a lot of costs associated with that. And then the vetting, even after they get the job, technically they're still on probation, right? You're still vetting them. Where in the virtual assistant space, at least on our team, we do the vetting and the training and the filtering. So by the time they get to you, they are battle-hardened veterans. They've been rejected probably a couple thousand times on the phone, So for them to get a rejection once, it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm not built for sales. So that's the main difference that I've seen is those costs, like we absorb those costs and bake that into it, right? So you don't have to eat those costs, but they're still, virtual right now is $12 an hour for a salesperson, for a sales assistant. In America, no way are anybody working for $12 an hour, right? No. The minimum wage is what, like $7 here in Utah? Does anybody work for minimum wage now? I love these minimum wage laws. It's like the real minimum wage. when Taco Bell's paying $12 or $15 an hour, that's the true minimum wage,
exactly,
right? So it's kind of stupid to think like that, but so that's the benefit is, and a lot of times too in certain states, we're actually below minimum wage.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and really, when it comes down to having them be an assistant, can they turn into a sales rep down the line? Absolutely. Because a lot of it is just having them really soak in that knowledge while they're assisting, your actual traditional sales team. And then over time, they can get to the point and develop into actually being from start to finish closer. A perfect example, one of my clients, his VA, Jude, first 30 days wasn't all there, right? A lot of it was just the lead generation trying to contact. Between the 30 to 90 day mark, she's now generating additional 500,000 in bids that they didn't have before.
So, and then you got to think too, is just once you get the sale. So yes, can they answer your question? Absolutely, you can. Took her time.
Yes, exactly.
But even after the client's won, is there a time? Some companies they get the job, they make the money, and it's done. Other companies, there's an account management side of it. Which is actually, if you use some companies, if they're big enough, their salesperson and their account manager are two different people. But if you're in a small company, usually it's the same guy. And so whenever he's dealing with the account manager side, he's not doing what he's built for and what he's made for, which is actually the sales side, the new generational sales side. And so I liked even the virtual assistant, making them carry that relationship onward. Right? The account management side. And then we've seen too is the second sale, right? The customer wants to buy again. The customer wants to upgrade the package, whatever that may be. You have a consistent client account manager virtual assistant connection that would be much more difficult to have, or at least at a lower value, like connection wise, than you would have the American, because they are worried about the next sale, which they should be to grow your business.
Well, not only that, but as you said, the hour is a lot cheaper. But then you can structure out your commission structure a lot cheaper as well.
Huge difference, right? Because Americans, to generate enough enthusiasm, it has to be substantial, right?
Exactly.
Anywhere from 100 to 2,000 to 50,000, depending on what kind of ticket you're.
Sometimes a percentage of what the sale is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I tell my people all the time that hire virtual assistants, my clients, I just don't think like an American giving a commission to an American, right?
Yeah.
You got to, because if you do, they're going to be almost unmotivated, right?
If it's too big.
If it's too big,
Yep.
right? It's like, I've made so much
100%.
money, I cannot work the rest of the year, right?
Yep.
And obviously we don't want those people, but I say give them incremental bonuses, commissions, and structure it so that they are eager to serve and to do more. So when Americans might think 2,000, in the Philippines or in different third world countries, it might be $50 to $10, depending on how big the ticket item is, right? Exactly. And so that's a big thing. One last thing I would say on that is don't pay for a commission or a bonus unless the company actually generated money. Yes. A lot of times you think, oh, we'll pay $10 a lead. Don't do that. Yeah. That'll get you burned pretty quick.
Exactly.
$10 for every 1,000 we bring in, right? That's a big thing. Cash in, cash out, as I always say. So don't pay the commission until you actually generate revenue.
Well, great information. I really appreciate it. Now we want to hear from you guys. Have you or somebody you know used the VA in a team sales program? Leave a comment and share your experience.
Also, if you're currently struggling with anything specific in business, let us know in the comments. We would love to respond, and heck, maybe we'll build a podcast specifically about answering those questions.
If you found any value today, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to be notified of our upcoming episodes. For now, I'm Brian.
And I'm Kellen with GHV Mentors.
Until next time.